Whether you work from home or in an office or want to switch, you have your rights, but so do companies. So let's bring in employment attorney John Bell tonight to talk through some of these points that people are wondering about. Mr. Bell, school's back in session. Lots of bosses want their people back in the office legally. If you do not have an official reasonable accommodation, can you be fired if you refuse to return full time?
The answer is yes. You can be. Your employer could make these rules. They could require you to come back. It might be uncomfortable. People are used to working from home. A lot of them like working from home. But your employer can force you to come back. And if you refuse, that's a reason for termination. And you may not get unemployment because that has nothing to do with performance. That's technically misconduct, insubordination.
Really? So what counts as a reasonable accommodation? I'm guessing it's not, well, my kid gets out of school at 3 and I need to be there.
No, a reasonable accommodation is specific to disability, and not any disability. You have to have a disability that lends yourself to working from home. For example, if you work in an office setting with a lot of cubicles, for example, and you suffer from ADD or ADHD and you need some quiet, you could actually go to your psychiatrist or general physician and potentially get a reasonable accommodation saying that you need to work from home because you need quiet. Now, that doesn't mean your employer has to give you the exact accommodation you're requesting. Your employer could turn around and say, well, forget working from home. We're going to put you in a private office so you get that quiet. So there is an interactive process. Now, realistically, that doesn't stop your employer from just being a nice guy or a nice woman and allowing you to work from home despite the general requirement to come back to the office.
When we dig into the numbers, more than 70% of workers right now, John, want a hybrid setup, at least a few days a week. Pricewaterhouse did these numbers. How would I negotiate that with my employer?
So it's tough to negotiate when you work with a lot of people that are all required to come back. If you have a unique position or maybe you work with a smaller firm, it's going to be easier for the boss to allow that. But if you're working in a big company where there's a lot of comparator, the boss is going to be afraid of some type of discrimination lawsuit because they don't want to treat one employee better than the other employee. It opens the door for discrimination lawsuits. You have to be treated equally.
Hadn't thought about that. Or if you're in a union, that might hamstring you too. Okay. And I mean, if I want to be smart about it, though, in my head, I'm thinking, I want to go in and show them, here's how it benefits you, here's how it benefits the company, right?
Sure. So in that situation, if your numbers, whatever numbers you measure by, happen to be good for the last year, 2 years, that you've been working from home or working in a hybrid, you use that as evidence. As long as the customers are happy, the numbers are good, any employer will take that into consideration because at the end of the day, most businesses are for profit.
Let's say not working out. Remember the old country song, take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. Okay, so you're going to go out there and you're going to go look for another job. McKinsey found that a flexible work setup is the third highest priority on job seekers' list. So if I want that, do I need to get it in writing? Is it binding if it is in writing that it's hybrid or remote work?
So the answer really is no, because you could get it in writing, but there's always, in any type of employment contract, it's always subject to change based upon the needs of the company. So the answer is, if you're looking for that type of arrangement, usually that's going to be in the job application where you see it and you apply. However, that certainly doesn't guarantee that that job is going to stay that way. And the way the law is, your employer will. If you find that there's a change, you're free to leave and apply for another position. But, just as I reiterated before, a lot of people like to rely on unemployment. If you quit your job because you refuse to get in, quitting your job, you're not entitled to unemployment. So people should know that. It's an important fact.
John Bell, not saying everything everybody wants to hear, but it's good information to be armed with when people are looking at this right now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chance.